Hey guys, Steven here with just a quick little pre-video before you guys get to the interview. I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys who've been following this series. I really can't thank you enough, and I love doing it. I love bringing the stories to life, especially so you guys can watch it. And it's been an absolute dream come true for me to get to travel to different states and interview these different stunt riders. This is the last episode for the LA series. And then after that, it's moving on to Texas. And then, well, we'll see what's in tune after that. Currently, as you guys are watching this, I'm on a plane to Arizona. I'm not saying what I'm doing out there, but you guys will find out soon enough, and it's going to be worth the wait. So, other than that, like I said, thank you guys. I really appreciate, all of you guys who have started following the channel or who have been following the channel since it started. So, if you're new here, I'll do an introduction video probably just because, I've gained some subscribers here pretty recently. Huge shout out to Stan Series for that as well. So, without further ado, here is, a day in the life of Chriscolestunts.
Like, I actually sold my car. I was like, screw having a car. I'm just gonna buy a street bike. I was like, I'm over it. All right, my name's Chris Cole, 27, from Riverside, California, and it's my bike. It's a 02 to 05. It's kind of a Frankenstein bike, CBR F4i. So basically, my whole life, my parents got us into dirt bike riding, and we always used to go out and go out to the desert, go dirt bike riding. And growing up, me and my older brother, we always had a fixation about motorcycles. And so for the longest time, for as long as I can remember, me and my brother always just loved motorcycles. And we were like, one day, when we get older, we're going to have a street bike. And so when that day finally came, we finally, we both bought a street bike. And growing up also, we always loved wheelies, and we'd see people going down the highway doing wheelies, and we was like, yeah, one day we're gonna do that. And next thing you know, I bought my street bike. I actually sold my car. I was like, screw having a car. I'm just gonna buy a street bike. I was like, I'm over it. I'm gonna buy a street bike. So finally bought a street bike, which was I think it was like a 98 CBR 900 RR, and I think it was a beast. It was all chopped up, and there's no back seat. The subframe was cut. There's no back seat. It was Street Fightered out with the small little headlight. The small little headlight and straight pipe, so it sounded just super mean. And bought that, and it was like the best decision of my life. And then my buddy actually bought a street bike. A kid that I grew up with, he bought one a couple years before me, or not a couple years, like a couple months before me. And he ended up meeting these people that were in a motorcycle club, and part of the club was like a stunt club or whatever. And I always knew about clubs and stuff from like YouTube and stuff like that. And so one day, my buddy called me and he was like, "Hey, you want to come over and meet these people that are in this club and go to this stunt spot?" And I was like, "Stunt spot? Like, what's that?" And so we went to the stunt spot, and I ended up meeting this club, and it was just kind of all changed from there. They were doing wheelies and burnouts and stuff, and I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Yeah, this is my scene." So it was, I started off riding streets with all my friends doing hood rat stuff. And after I met that club, the club invited me to go on my very first stunt ride. And they're all like, yeah, it's going to be, super tight. There's going to be a bunch of people there, we're all going to be doing wheelies, all this stuff, the hyping it all up and stuff. And I was kind of nervous, at first. And, yeah, so we ride over Chaparral, and we're riding over there, and like I don't remember what happened, but something happened. Like someone's bike broke down or whatever. So we didn't even make it to the meet spot. We like made it like around the corner from the meet spot, and we ended up meeting up with the rest of this club. And I remember all of these members came in, and their bikes were all like super colorful and like dirt bars. It's the first time I've ever seen like dirt bars and stuff, and like have handbrakes and all this kind of stuff. Their tanks are all dented in, and like I'm like, whoa, these bikes look weird, like crazy, And they're all like just super colorful, big old sprockets on it, I'm like, man, this all right, this is gonna be tight. And then so we all dip out and we try to catch up to the ride. And as soon as we get on the freeway, boom, everyone starts doing wheelies, and we get like maybe not even half a mile down the freeway, and boom, one of the guys crashes. One of the guys that we were with crashes and like crashed into another person, and it was just like this big, big shit show. And so we all pulled over and everything, and got the bike off the freeway and all this kind of stuff, and yeah, it was pretty crazy, but that was like my first experience of a street ride, and I was like, oh my God, like this is insane. Like this is so wild. Like how can like we do this, and then next thing you know, like I'm going to like street rides like every single, like 2-3 times a week, just doing these big, huge street rides with everyone. And super fun. And, but eventually as time went on, kind of just stopped riding streets as much because like, cops and everything, they don't really like it, and they don't approve of it, and it's illegal to do wheelies. And, I got my bike impounded a couple times, a couple tickets and stuff. And so it just got too expensive. And so I started moving more into the lot and started practicing more professionally and more safely. And, that got me into doing like stunt shows. And so like stunt shows is like where it's at for me. Like if I can get a big crowd with a bunch of people, especially kids, like doing stunt shows for kids is just amazing. They're like the best crowd ever. But yeah, doing stunt shows is what I like to do now. And like we did a toy drive, and at the end of the toy drive, like we did a big ride to the toy drive, and then at the end of it, they have a whole bunch of kids there and everything, and we do a stunt show for them. And it was like one of my like very first stunt shows, and with kids and everything, and it's just like seeing how pumped these kids are, like doing wheelies down the road is like just, it's amazing. Like seeing their faces and everything. It's probably one of the best moments of stunt riding, is giving back to the community and giving, making kids smile, So like growing up, I used to watch like Jason Britton and like Tony Carvajal and like all these people growing up. I used to watch them on the internet and on YouTube and stuff. And then now like it's like blows my mind that now like I'm at a lot like with these, professional, stunt riders, and I like know them, and I like ride with them. It's like blows my mind, like 5-6 years ago, I would never guessed that I'd be riding next to like Jason Britton or like Tony Carvajal, like, or Sarah Lazito, like blows my mind, but that's what stunt riding is about. It's not about like fame and and like all that stuff. It's like if you got a motorcycle and you stunt, you're part of a big family. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter about your background. Doesn't matter about anything else. If you have a bike and you stunt, we all do the same thing. We all have the same passion, and like we become like a family. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Like I've like met people on the internet, like through Instagram. Like I've talked to people through Instagram, and then for like stunt riding, like they stunt, like we like each other's pictures or videos or whatever, comment, and then we become friends, and the next thing you know, like I'm flying out to like Arizona, or like I'm going all the way up north, and like meeting these people I've never met before in person, but now they're opening up their house and their home, to us, and going on big rides and stuff. It's amazing. It's super, super cool. I love that part.